Hi, and welcome to my Narrows introductory screencast. Narrows is an online storytelling system. You can think of it as a system, a program, to write your own choose-your-own-adventure-like books or stories in which there is branching, like interactive fiction, but the following three key differences. First of all, there is not only one reader. There will be as many readers as protagonists the story has. So it could be one, but it could be 3, 4, 5, or more. Second, you don't have, as a reader, when you finish a chapter or a section, you don't have to pick between 2 or 3 preset choices. So you don't get simply to choose between I go north or I open the door or something like that. You actually have a text box in which you can write whatever you want your character to do. And the third and final difference, and that comes from number 2, the narrator or the author of the story cannot write the whole story with all the possible branching up front and then give it to the readers to read. Instead, the narrator writes only one chapter at a time. The readers will read that, will provide their feedback or what their characters will do, and then based on that, the author can write the next chapter. And then they will read it and will provide their feedback, directions, and so on and so forth. So how does all this work in practice? Every time there is a chapter that is published, the readers will receive a special link. So if they follow that link, they open it in a browser, they will see a screen like this. So this will be the interface to read a chapter. So let's start the chapter. Let's remove the music so it's easier to hear my voice. So you can see here that there is a background image, there is a chapter title, and then we have the chapter text. In particular, I want you to notice this sentence here is something that Samuel, this character, is thinking, and then in the next sentence it says yet in this erupting theories and options, and then again this part is something that Samuel is thinking. So because Samuel has realized certain things, the player playing that character wants to let the other know what his thoughts are, for example, so they can coordinate a plan. So the reader can send a message, let's say that it will say, I think we should definitely go north, whatever, it's not really important. And now we will see how, when the reader or the player playing Elam reads the chapter, it will be a little bit different. So let's disable the background music from the start. We see the same background image, the same title, and the text is slightly different. Now if you notice, there is no mention to what Samuel is thinking, because this is from Elam's point of view. And also we can read the message that Samuel's player sent. So let's say that Elam's player doesn't have any better ideas or any better plans, so he just decides to go with the flow, go with whatever Samuel thought of. So we write the action here. Again, this is not simply choosing between 2 or 3 options, this is just writing whatever you want. And we send it. So now, from the narrator's point of view, how does this work? This is the dashboard of the narrator. There could be several narrations going on at the same time. And this is the one that we're using as an example. So let's click in here and we will see the overview page for a chapter. In here we have a list of chapters. Right now we only have the first one. And we have the list of characters and some other things. So if we click on a chapter that is already published, we will see the control panel, if you will, of that chapter. We will see here the chapter text, including the marked parts that are only for certain characters, and then we have all the messages that have been sent for that particular chapter and the actions that have been sent for that particular chapter. In this case, not all of them have been sent because Samuel sent a message but didn't submit his action. And yeah, you have a pretty good overview here. You can send messages yourself and so on. So how do we build a chapter? In here, if we click here, we can edit it. So we see here how we can choose the background image from a list and background audio from a list and upload new media. And we can choose here the participants in the chapter, because not all chapters need to have all protagonists in them. They could be that one protagonist goes somewhere and the other goes somewhere else, so we will write different chapters because they're experiencing different things or whatever. And in here is where we write the text, and we see the marks for the private text, or the text that is only available for some of the characters. And let's mark this random piece of text here as for Ellen. So as you can see here, they are color coded, so you can see at a glance which text is read by only some of the characters and who those characters are. And of course, hovering always tells you the name of the character. So let's imagine that we had more than two. Let's say that we have 3 or 4 protagonists in the story. So in that case, it would make sense to mark some text for more than one character. In this case, it doesn't make sense because I'm marking them for everyone. But if we had, say, 3 or 4 protagonists, it would make sense to mark some text to be read by, for example, 2 of the characters. So when we mark here, you see how all of the colors of the different characters that are going to read that sentence or that part of the text will be highlighted. So you can see very clearly who gets to read what. And that's it for an introduction. I hope you liked it, and you can download Narrows from GitHub. And thanks for watching.